Hi there. I'm going to start a new project today, and it's a new journal. Hopefully a quite quick, simple journal. And I'm going to use envelopes to make the base of the cover, and I'm going to use envelopes on the inside as well for the signature. So I don't know how long. I intended this to be quite quick, but if it's not, then I might split it into different videos. But I'm going to start by I'm going to do an overview of what I'm going to do for the whole thing quickly, and then I'm going to start by doing the cover first, and then we'll see where we go from there. So right, so I've got some envelopes which are just they're all around the same size. So I've got two envelopes that for some reason don't have flaps, so I'm going to use those for my covers. And there's the other one, so that's going to be my front and back covers, and I'm going to decorate those and then put a spine on there. And then for the inside signature, I've got, let me just count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 envelopes of around the same size. They don't have to be, you can have whatever size envelopes, and they're going to form the inside signature. So they're arranged kind of so that there's a flap in between every envelope, if you see what I mean. And then that's the central one, so that will be where the signature will be sewn. So you just want to lay them together, kind of alternating flap and envelope. The flap is going to be a space to attach an extra page or whatever you like inside. So the number of envelopes, it will be twice the number of pages potentially, if you see what I mean. So yeah, each one of these you can attach something else, a page or a pocket or some fabric, whatever you like. So that will be the inside signatures. So I'll deal with those later. First of all, for the cover, I'm going to just cover both sides of these envelopes with paper. I want this to be quite a soft journal still, the cover to be quite soft, and it's going to have a fabric spine. So it's going to be just a single signature, very small journal, and very kind of pliable and soft. So I'm going to, for my spine, speaking of spines, I'm going to use some sari silk, which I buy mine from a shop on Etsy. And I will put the link in the description for the shop where I get this sari silk yarn. I think it's called Yarns, if I'm not mistaken. It's a UK yarn supplier. And you get these big bundles of yarn. So I've chosen a couple of pieces which I really like for my spine, and I've lightly pressed them because some of the pieces are very narrow, some are very wide, and it's all very screwed up. So I want to be able to lay it down and stitch it. So I've just kind of lightly pressed it because I don't want it to be too neat. And what I'm going to do is, sometimes it's not particularly strong either, so you need to test the strength of it. I'm going to go for 3 layers. So I've just folded it 3 times, and that is going to form my spine. So when I've decorated these envelopes, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just lay this and this, and the gap in the middle will be however wide I want my spine to be, and then I'm going to stitch around down here, and then on the other side I'll stitch down to fix the other edge. So that's my plan for the cover. I also have this other bit of sari silk, which is just a small piece, and I quite like the idea of putting that on just down on the outside of the spine, sort of like, it'll sort of be like that. So that's my pieces for that. So I've got those prepared. I've got my 2 cover pieces, and what I'm going to do, I've got 4 pieces of paper which I have. This is from an Artie May's, it's the Spring Watercolour kit. I think it's from this spring, so it's a fairly new one. But I absolutely love, these are some of the background pages, and there's 4 different colours of these, and all the colours I think are lovely. So I've just printed them out and I've torn them down with a ruler to the size of my envelopes, and I'm going to attach one. So one will, so say this is my front cover, and then the inside of my front cover I think I'll do in the blue, and then on my back cover I'll have the green, and then on the inside of my back cover I think I'm going to go for the pink. So that will be my cover, will be that, and then that's the inside, that's the inside, that's the back cover, and then I'll have my sari silk going around there. So that'll be my basic cover, and then I can decorate from there. So what I'm going to do first of all is I want this to be not too stiff, and like I say, quite pliable. So if you wanted it quite stiff, because I'm sticking obviously 2 pieces of paper onto this, you could also put an extra piece of paper inside the envelope, or a piece of card or something to make it stiffer if you wanted a stiffer cover. But I am just going to lightly glue onto here and stick it down, because then I'm going to stitch around 3 of the sides, and then I'm going to do the same on the other piece, and then for these edges that's going to be stitched down when I stitch it to the spine fabric. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just lightly glue these down. Just going to use a glue stick for this, and I'm not going to go up to the edge because I don't want to stitch through the glue. Actually, what I'm going to do very quickly before is I'm going to just ink around lightly around my edges. Just so that this is actually a vintage photo ink, but I also have a bit of darker ink on my sponge, so that's why it looks a bit darker, but it will all blend in. And I'm going to I'll ink around again once I've stitched the paper pieces on. It's just an initial, just to take the white off the edges. So there we go. Don't have to be too neat about this because most of it is going to be covered anyway. So just a basic ink. Okay, that will do for now. I'll do some more later. Right, now if I've remembered which colours, that's it, the blue and the yellow. Right, so I'm just gonna put a bit of glue stick. So I don't want it all to be stiffly glued in place. I just want it to be enough to hold everything. Okay. And I've just torn this with a ruler to the size of the envelopes. Okay, so that's the front cover. And this project is also quite good, and it's kind of how I'm going to tackle the inside, is apart from using up your envelopes and being a proper junk journal, it's also good for using up bits of pages and collaging. So I'm going to kind of use this as a sort of collage base for the inside pages, because I've got my envelopes, so I might just kind of collage onto all of the pages. But we shall see how it goes on the way. We might change our mind, but that's my plan for now. And for the extra pages where we've got the flaps on the inside, you know, they can sort of be a sort of Franken-page style. You can just join pieces to the flaps to create new pages. Right, so that's those. So front cover, back cover. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stitch around 3 sides and 3 sides of these, and I'm going to leave that's the back and that's the front. I'm going to leave these sides free. That'll be the sides that'll be next to the spine, basically, will be not stitched yet. Okay, I shall be back once I've stitched. Okay, so I'm back from the sewing machine, and as you can see, I've sewn around, not right on the edge, but near the edge, around 3 of the sides. So that's the front cover, and then that's the inside of the front cover, and then the green is the back, and then the pink is the inside. So we've got these edges still to stitch. So what we want to do is position, so with the insides facing up, so that's how it will be, the front cover, the back cover. So with the insides facing up, I now want to position where I want my spine to go. So I'm just going to lots of stringy bits. So I'm just going to kind of by eye, it doesn't need to be perfect. Then I need to decide how wide I want my spine to be, and I don't need it very wide because I've only got one signature. All I have to really think about is that when the signature is decorated and the other pages are in, kind of I want enough just to go around here. So I guess I want around a centimetre probably, that kind of size, just for one signature. So that is about the right kind of size. So I'm going to use a bit of tailor's chalk just to mark the lines on the sari silk, so I know when I'm sewing, but you could mark it with anything, or a bit of pen, or put a pin or a few pins in. Again, obviously it doesn't need to be perfect, just enough for you to see what you're doing. So I'm going to go away now and I am going to stitch. I'll do one side first, so I'll go and stitch along same side of, so I'm going to stitch down here along there, and then I'll do the same on the other side, and then I will come back again. Okay, so I am back again from the sewing machine, and I have, as you can see, stitched down, leaving the gap. I've stitched along the two sides there. I had a slight change to my plan with this extra piece. I've put it more to the front, so that this is just kind of on the edge now. But trim some bits off. And then I've also done an extra stitch to secure down the rest of this on the back part, and that's what the inside looks like. But I'll probably end up covering this, but I don't mind seeing these anyway. So that is the basic of the cover pretty much done, and then that will go around our signature. So I will probably end this video here and then do another one to start on the pages and whatnot, and then I don't know if there will be an extra video for the rest of the cover and the flip through, or I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do it yet, but there will either be another video after this, or I'll add it on to the end of this one. So yeah, there we go. Thank you for watching.